911, what is the address of your origin? Both transfer emergency, please. That was your birthday thing. Kevin West. Tell me exactly what happened. She's on the seizure right now. She never got one. Okay.
That's all I order say. Right now it's just CPR. Hey. Sorry, it's okay. Just go here, Kevin. Yeah, I'm going to call from the project. Okay, go again. What is it? Hey, sister,
Did you speak to Kevin that morning?
Yes.
And where was that?
We were inside the residence, downstairs in the kitchen area, the West residence.
And was there a point at which the two of you were alone?
Yeah.
And what did he say to you with regard to Marcy's passing?
He said, I feel bad for not feeling bad.
Kevin West was a man who made a career out of being a savior. He started as an EMT and worked his way up to battalion chief for the Camas-Washougal Fire Department. With 22 years of service, he was the person you called on the worst day of your life, the calm voice in the chaos, a trusted leader and a pillar of the community. But while Kevin was the public face of heroism, Marcel was the foundation. Known to everyone as Marcy, she matched his work ethic with a quiet strength of her own. She spent more than 20 years working as a unit coordinator at a local hospital. Away from work, she nurtured a creative side, including playing the violin. Together, they turned steady careers into a comfortable life. The Wests lived in a 5-bedroom, roughly 3,000 square foot home in a sought-after residential neighborhood where comparable properties sold for $700,000 to $800,000. From the outside, their life appeared stable and unremarkable. A long-term marriage, 2 children, and the steady, rain-soaked routine of the Pacific Northwest. During trial testimony, Kevin was asked to describe how he and Marcy met.
That you're seated, please state your name in full and spell your last name for the court's record. Kevin William West, W-E-S-T. Go ahead, go.
Thank you very much. Good morning, Kevin.
Good morning.
Just to get a little bit of background on you, what do you currently do for a living?
I'm retired battalion chief.
And now we understand you grew up in Eugene, is that correct?
Yes.
And how long did you live in Eugene?
28 years.
And so when you, how and when did you first meet Marcy?
I worked for Eugene Fire Non-Emergency Transport System. It was a pilot project. I would transport cancer patients from Willamette Valley Cancer Center to the 6th floor at Sacred Heart Hospital where she was employed. And that's when I first met her.
Okay. And that's what kind of patients were those?
Cancer patients.
Oh, okay. And so then I understand you were pursuing your paramedic degree at that time?
Yes, I was.
And did you get that?
I did.
Where did you get that?
At Lane Community College in Eugene.
What year was that?
In 2000.
And so 2000, you're still living in Eugene at the time, I understand?
Yes, I am.
And then how did your relationship with Marcy develop in those early days?
So in those early days, we, after we met at the hospital and some time had passed, we moved on to living together in an apartment, and we continued until I moved up to Camas when I was hired by the city of Camas.
And that's before the two departments joined forces?
That's correct, in roughly 2011.
And did you and Marcy get married at some point?
We did in 2002.
And where did you get married?
May 24th, 2002 at Edgefield McMenamins in Troutdale.
So, how's your marriage starting out?
Well, I would race down there just to see her during the academy. We're very much in love.
On the morning of January 8, 2024, that marriage came to an abrupt end. According to police reports, Kevin told investigators he woke up to his dog whining and realized Marcy was experiencing what he believed to be a seizure. He said he called 911 almost immediately. The first responders who arrived were not strangers. They were Kevin's own colleagues from the fire department. Despite their efforts, Marcy was pronounced dead approximately 44 minutes after they arrived at the home. At first, there were no obvious signs of foul play. Later that morning, when the medical examiner arrived and Marcy's body was repositioned, investigators noted several unusual details. Her bra strap appeared misaligned and her pants were inside out. Both observations were documented but not immediately explained. 2 days later, the autopsy revealed subtle bruising to the neck and trauma to the head, findings that were not typical of a seizure disorder. Still, the evidence was not yet sufficient to definitively classify the death as a homicide. The manner of death was ruled inconclusive, but the physical findings raised concern. That concern prompted a deeper investigation. On January 11th, the case was transferred to the Clark County Sheriff's Office because of Kevin's position within the fire department. Around the same time, detectives began receiving information from people close to the couple. They heard about financial strain, tension in the marriage, and a woman Kevin appeared unusually close to at a local bowling alley. Investigators now had unanswered forensic questions and the outline of a possible motive. Nearly 2 weeks later, on January 23rd, detectives observed Kevin out drinking with the same woman. Rather than confront him publicly, investigators chose a different approach. Later that day, they arrived unannounced at his home to speak with him.
Well, I know, puppy, I know. I'm sorry.
Sorry,
Hi
guys.
there. No worries. My name is Ian Tellison. I'm with the Clark County Sheriff's Office.
Okay.
This is my partner, Lauren Zapata.
Okay, yeah.
Do you have a few minutes to chat with us?
Yeah, for sure. Come on in.
Oh, thank you. How's
Yeah.
it going?
Good.
Hi, puppy. What's your name?
That's Sadie.
Sadie?
Yeah. Come on in, please have a seat.
Thank you. And just so you know, my fancy new doohickey, the body cam's rolling. So
Okay, no worries.
audio and video.
I'm sorry, I thought you guys were like being prepared or
worries.
whatever. I had no idea.
Not the first time we've been
Yeah.
mistaken for that, and it won't be the
Yeah.
last. So, it's nice to meet you. I'm sorry it's under these circumstances. We've been asked by the medical examiner to just come out, follow up with you, routine interview, and make sure that we're not missing anything.
Sure.
Our understanding is Marcy was in her 40s or late 40s. So obviously a younger, kind of unexpected death at this point. So just wanted to come out and chat with you, hopefully get a little more background
Yeah, of
information
course. Yeah.
on Marcy, if that's okay.
That'd be just fine.
And then more recently, with the days leading up to Marcy's passing, are you able to talk to us about, was it normal days? Are you able to go through kind of?
Yeah, I tell you, like right at the very last day, we had a really great. Like I went and told her I was going down to. We watched movies all day.
Okay.
I went down to Ichi and they were closed. And then I texted her and said, "Hey, I'm going to go get you noodles." So I went to the Chinese garden, Washougal,
Okay.
or whatever it's called. And we had dinner. We had a good night.
Did you guys go out to eat then?
No, I brought it home to her.
Oh,
Yeah.
gotcha. Oh, that's right. Sorry, you said watching movies.
Yeah.
What'd you guys watch?
What did we watch? We watched like 3 movies, but
Marathon.
yeah, I can't tell you. Sorry.
That's all right.
Yeah,
It's been a busy month.
it's been the worst 2 weeks. But she had nothing. She had nothing. We don't have narcotic painkillers in the house. We don't have, she had just, I don't know, man. There's no possibility. I mean, she doesn't drink, she doesn't smoke, doesn't do anything like that. She's not going to overdose. There's absolutely nothing that's going to show up in that toxicology report.
A couple other questions popped up over her life. You know, looking back, trying to figure out if there was anything more outside of that chest pain, any other like big medical stuff or conditions, complaints, anything like that.
No, I mean, she had a lot of dental bridging done, if that's even the right term.
Okay.
But 2 kids, no complications with the pregnancies. Pretty normal. I delivered my second.
Okay.
Which is pretty awesome. But no, it's just a shock. I mean, there's just nothing. She just was unhealthy, healthy. I mean, I don't know how to explain it. You know, just she didn't exercise.
Okay.
We worked out a lot, but you know, I'll get older. I don't work out like I used to either. But yeah.
During that interview, detectives locked Kevin into a baseline version of events. He said he and Marcy had takeout, watched movies, went to bed, and that she later complained of a headache before suffering a sudden medical emergency. Kevin also insisted that Marcy had no history of substance abuse and no significant underlying medical conditions. By doing so, he effectively eliminated many common explanations for an accidental or natural death. Investigators were left with 2 possibilities: an extraordinarily rare undiagnosed medical event, or the neck and head trauma documented in the autopsy. As the investigation continued, detectives began interviewing Kevin's friends and coworkers. They expected loyalty. Instead, they heard something very different.
Full name is Terry Scott Slocum. The last name is Slocun.
Go ahead.
My full name is Kathleen Linton, Linton. I go by Katie though.
Kevin Villines, Villines.
I'm an EMT firefighter for Camas-Washougal Fire Department.
And how long have you been with the Camas-Washougal Fire Department?
I volunteered, started in '93 and was hired on in 2000.
Okay.
I am a firefighter with Camas-Washougal Fire Department.
And what is your current role with the Camas-Washougal Fire Department?
I'm a firefighter, EMT, and a captain.
Now, I understand that you're currently retired, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Where were you working prior to your retirement?
Camas-Washougal Fire Department.
And when did you retire?
November 5th
Of
this year.
Now, prior to January 8th of 2024, how would you describe your relationship with Kevin West?
One of my good friends at the fire department.
Okay. Best friends?
Best friends.
Around this time period, what was Kevin specifically telling you about his relationship with Marcy?
Not sure how to answer it with that. I did ask him at one point, because I'd heard he was getting a divorce and moving out. And then he'd made a comment. I was working, I believe, an overtime shift about plans they had in the future, and I did ask, are you not getting a divorce?
Okay, and what was his response?
He had told me that he had talked to a lawyer and that he would only have $1,600 or $1,800 a month to live on if he got a divorce, which seemed odd to me. And I did ask.
Objection to relevance, move to strike. I understood it. She was about to relate part of the conversation, so I'll overrule the objection.
She said it seemed odd to her.
It seemed odd to her, and so she said she was going to ask him something. So if it's related to your conversation with Mr. West, you can answer. If it's your own speculations or discussions, with someone else who can't answer.
Okay. It was a conversation I had with him, and I asked, how could you only have $1,600 or $1,800 a month? We make a pretty good living. I just didn't see that, and he just said he had talked to a lawyer, and that was what they told him, and that he was stuck financially.
Okay. How would you have described your relationship with Kevin?
Both personal, very close. We hunted a lot together. Spent as much time as we could. Then professional at work. At that point, he was also a battalion chief.
Okay. Did he express any reasons why he was reluctant to divorce Marcy?
Yes.
And what was that?
Financial.
Can you explain further?
Yeah. Every fireman and cop puts in a lot of years.
Objection, non-responsive, no foundation.
You can go ahead.
Thank you. It's like your worst nightmare. You've built a pension for 20 years, and then say your wife comes up to you and says she wants a divorce, right? By that time, you're ready to get out of the field. And now you're worried about getting rid of 50% of your stuff.
I'm sorry. I'll sustain the objection.
And on the day of Marcy's passing, when you were with him at the residence, was there a point that just you and Kevin West were alone together?
Yes.
And when was that?
As I was leaving the household, we had driven up to Seattle to get his daughter and brought her back, and then I was in the entryway leaving.
And was this in the evening or midday, morning?
Evening.
Did he say something to you about Marcy's passing?
Yes.
What did he say?
That he was relieved and that a burden had been lifted off his shoulders.
No further questions. Did you ultimately learn that Marcy West had passed?
Yes.
Without going into specifically why, did you have concerns that the death may not have been natural?
Yes.
And did you report that information?
I did.
To whom?
I came in to talk to the sheriff, and they stopped me and redirected me to the ME's office.
Okay. Did you then go to the medical examiner's
I did.
office? Is that a yes?
Yes,
And did you convey to them your concerns?
I did.
And did you originally ask to remain anonymous?
I did,
And why was that?
because I was scared.
Why were you scared?
Objection, relevant speaking.
I have no further questions. And approximately what time did you arrive at the restaurant?
Sometime around 8 in the morning, 0800-ish.
And who was there when you arrived?
I remember Michael Brown being there. I remember Scott Slocum was also there. Mark Woodland was there. There was Washougal PD officers there. I don't remember anyone else so much.
Okay. And were you there in a professional or personal capacity?
Personal.
Did you speak to Kevin that morning?
Yes.
And where was that?
We were inside the residence, downstairs in the kitchen area, the West residence.
And was there a point at which the two of you were alone?
Yeah.
And what did he say to you with regard to Marcy's passing?
He said, I feel bad for not feeling bad.
The picture that emerged was not of a devastated husband, but of a man who had emotionally detached from his marriage long before the 911 call. Still, suspicion and character evidence were not enough. Investigators needed medical certainty. By the end of January, they had it. The medical examiner's preliminary findings showed hemorrhaging in the neck muscles and petechial hemorrhaging in the eyes, findings highly consistent with manual strangulation and not consistent with a seizure-related death. Investigators now believed Marcy had been killed. 8 days after the initial interview, detectives returned to the West residence, this time with a search warrant. Before executing it, they conducted one final interview to see whether Kevin would contradict himself. When detectives arrived, they noticed a car parked in the driveway belonging to Cynthia Ward, the woman from the bowling alley. With that in mind, investigators pressed Kevin about the state of his marriage.
Hey, how's it going, sir? Hey, come on in. Oh, thank you. Hey, how's it going?
I'm okay.
Good.
Okay. Come on in.
Had some follow-up and a couple other things we wanted to touch up on.
Yeah, sure.
Now's an okay time?
Yeah, let's come on in here.
Sure. Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I had the hairy shot on you guys.
Oh, no worries. Puppy. Hey, puppy. You're okay.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, thank you.
We're at that point of having time for ourselves.
Mm-hmm. Kids out of the house a little bit.
Maybe through every weekend, she's Amtrakking her way down here. Ted's here 1 out of every 3 nights. We're starting to have just nights where it's just us and we could go watch a movie, she wanted to take me to the coast on her birthday.
Here, Kevin paints a picture of an improving relationship. When he claims she wanted to take me to the coast, he describes a woman planning future events with him.
And these are some uncomfortable questions. You said no one else is here right now? Okay. As far as the medical examiner's office, some of these follow-up ones that we're more or less required to ask, or we need the answers to. Are you able to remember when the last time you and Marcy were intimate?
That night.
That night? Okay. So the 7th, leading into the 8th?
The first night of that.
Okay. And then again, I apologize for the A, making you relive it, and B, the brightness of the questions.
I understand you guys are just like me, and you're doing your job.
It's okay. And that night, was it sexual intercourse? Okay.
We got a good, such a big date.
And like I said, if you need a second, feel free. You mentioned that was before bed. Where was that at in the bed? And then was that before or after she got sick or wasn't feeling well? Before. Then kind of an odd question, but we have to ask. Any like rough sex or anything like that? Okay.
When asked whether he and Marcy engaged in rough sex, Kevin said no. Investigators noted the significance. Given the documented neck injuries, denying rough or consensually aggressive sexual activity eliminated one of the few accidental explanations for those findings.
And then, again, kind of an odd question, but when we reviewed the photographs, it looked like some of her clothes were, like her pants were inside out. Can you think of any reason, like, had you ever seen her wear them inside out before, or do you know how that might have happened?
So she was body conscious. She may have put them on in the dark.
Okay.
I have no idea what that would be.
Okay.
I have no idea what that would be.
And if it's leggings, I'd imagine it's probably the same material inside and out.
I'm sure, yeah.
And then you mentioned the bra. Would she wear a bra when she slept even?
Oh, yes.
She would?
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, always.
And then we don't have to go up yet, but is the bedroom still more or less in the same like configuration or?
No, because what I did is the mattress had cat urine stain on it.
Oh, okay.
But I was having a hard time. I want new furniture. So the guys helped me last Monday.
Okay.
Came by. We took photographs. I took photographs of the furniture without the mattress, and then we took apart the frame. I took it up to they all helped me take it up to my buddy Scott's house. It was shop.
Mm-hmm.
And my other buddy Jeff is selling on Facebook Marketplace.
Okay.
Whatever. And the Peloton and the entertainment center that was in the other room. Just my daughter's probably gonna move back here with her fiance. And I think she gets out of college, is that big room's gonna be there, so I'm trying to prep that.
Gotcha.
But I needed different furniture.
Kevin admits he disposed of the bed and mattress just days after Marcy's death. To investigators, this raised alarms. Beds and mattresses are common sources of biological evidence, and discarding them eliminated the chance to test for signs of a struggle.
And then moving forward, and again, this is another couple questions that I apologize for, being blunt, but do you happen to know Cynthia? And how do you know her? I guess what's your relationship?
So, I had an affair.
Okay.
With Cynthia. And I'm struggling with my choice of doing that. I knew of her in the early 2000s.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess going back, did you meet her like early 2000s or when did you first?
I met her because she was a Washougal volunteer.
Oh, okay.
So that's where I knew her.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And as far as like timeline of the affair, when was that happening?
Right now.
Right now? Okay. How long has that been going on?
I talked to her once on Messenger in July.
Okay.
By getting Kevin to acknowledge the affair, investigators finally had a clear motive. In the next segment, he makes a startling admission.
It was absolutely just simply we're having an affair. She came here. She was here the night you guys were here last Tuesday. We were in the garage and having a drink when you guys came.
Okay.
And I told her that you guys were here when I went out there, and I told her that I expected, to tell you guys everything about it, and
Here, Kevin admits that during the earlier January interview, Cynthia had been in the garage drinking while detectives sat inside the house. Investigators saw this as evidence of deliberate deception and compartmentalization. Immediately afterward, detectives executed the search warrant. They dug through every room and, inside a box in the garage, found cards and letters written by Kevin to Cynthia Ward.
Our state moves to admit exhibits 84 to Christmas cards.
Oh, gosh. 84 is a good.
Detective Arvizo, would you please read one of those letters for us?
Sure. I'll start with the Merry Christmas card. States, Cynthia, this Christmas we had to be apart. Although apart, the day was spent with only thoughts of you. The holiday spirit was alive because of the love we share. I'm always feeling the warmth of your love and the laughter we share. You're my Christmas gift I will never forget. Every year forward, we will create new traditions, share holiday memories, and feel the Christmas spirit because of the traditions we create. Our family will grow as one together, looking forward to sharing the holidays with us. From the Christmas tree, the food we prepare, the home we make, to the decorations we display, our love will be present everywhere. Next year, 2024, will be our year. We will be together celebrating every day with love and understanding of what it means for you and I to be together. Our story will ring in the new year, loud for all to hear.
From there, the investigation moved from the physical scene to the digital record. Text messages recovered by investigators established a timeline that contradicted Kevin's narrative. They learned he had planned to move out on January 8th, the same day Marcy died, and intended to sign divorce papers the following morning. Marcy suspected the marriage was near its end. In one message, she wrote, "You have made yourself clear that I have made you unhappy for 23 years." Financial records introduced at trial showed the couple was approximately $100,000 in debt. Prosecutors argued that if Kevin divorced, he faced significant monthly obligations he could not afford. The state's theory was simple: divorce was expensive, murder was permanent. With this new context, the medical examiner re-evaluated the case. On March 20th, 2024, the conclusion was officially changed to homicide by strangulation. 2 days later, Kevin West was arrested. At trial, prosecutors revealed that Kevin became engaged to Cynthia Ward just months after Marcy's death, evidence they used to rebut the image of a grieving husband.
And how long have you lived there with Kevin West?
I don't know the approximate date, but probably 5 months or 6 months.
And what is the current, are you and Kevin West in a romantic relationship?
Yes.
And what is the current state of your relationship?
We're engaged.
When did you first hear from Kevin after Marcy's death?
I texted him and said, "Good morning, how's everything?" Just kind of a normal good morning. And I didn't hear from him. So it was probably 9 o'clock in the morning when I heard something from him, and he said that she had passed and he was going to Seattle to get Megan.
And when was the first time that you went to that residence after Marcy's death?
Kevin's birthday.
The birthday party?
Yeah.
You were at Kevin's home on January 23rd when the police arrived, were you not?
Yes, I was.
You were with him in the garage?
I was.
And you stayed in the garage the whole time that he spoke with police, did you not?
Yes, when the police officers left, Kevin was taking their card, and I walked in by the bathroom into the kitchen. But that's as far, we stayed mainly in the garage.
Oh, so you're saying you came out of the garage while the police officers were still there?
No, ma'am. When they left,
okay.
Kevin had opened the door and said, "I'm going to put this away." Yeah.
Why wouldn't you come out of the garage?
The garage was kind of a safe place. It was more Kevin's area, and we heard a knock at the door, but since we were in the garage, we didn't know it was an actual knock at the door. And then it was a big bang, and Kevin said, "Oh, I'll go check that," and I just stayed in the garage. It is set up with chairs, and it's not like a typical garage.
So he never told you that it was the police there?
He never came out. Nobody came to the garage.
He didn't have a conversation with you before leaving the garage saying, "It's the police and I'm gonna probably tell you"?
We thought it was Chuck, the neighbor, actually. He's like, "It's probably Chuck," and answered the door. I had no idea the police were there.
Nothing else, Ron.
Examination. Good morning, Ms. Ward.
Morning.
You said you've been engaged since September 2024, is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's just about a little over a year, right?
Yeah, that was because my mom was unhealthy and he wanted to live there.
Understood. Yeah, it's fair to say that at some point, you two are hoping for a life together. Isn't that accurate?
Yes.
And Megan's marriage, you said, was scheduled to be in July. That would have been July of 2023, is that right?
23? 24.
Um,
Sorry.
It would have been the July after Marcy passed.
Yes, sorry.
And you might not have had specific conversations, but there was a general understanding that at least someday in the future, Kevin would get divorced.
Yes.
On the 23rd, when you remained in the garage and the police came, you say you weren't aware it was the police, right?
I was not aware.
And you thought it was the neighbor Chuck?
I did.
Did you not want to meet the neighbor Chuck?
If Kevin wanted to, I would have. I wasn't hiding in the garage. Made that pretty clear.
Okay. And the reason you didn't go in the house is because you just weren't comfortable being in the house, is that right?
That's correct.
Okay, that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you.
Indirect.
No.
Can the witness be excused?
Yes.
I will reserve on this witness, Your Honor.
Cynthia Ward was not asked any further questions about the death itself. With the prosecution's motive established, the defense focused entirely on an alternative medical theory. They argued that Marcy suffered from untreated migraines and that an intense massage earlier that evening triggered a fatal seizure.
All right, now, Ted, would you be able to demonstrate the massage that you gave your mom on the CPR dummy there for us today?
Sure.
Can you show us exactly what you did?
Sure. You want me pointing towards the jury?
That'd be great, so we can see.
Okay. Usually I'd start at the shoulders, and I'd use my thumbs, kind of pressing in with the front fingers and back. And then sometimes I'd go to the side and kind of do some circles on the side. Sometimes I'd be kind of doing circles on both sides of the spine. And this could be with fingers, knuckles, or it could be with my elbow. I would also do knuckles here at the neck. I would also do elbow here and behind the carotid here. And then I'd also do it right about here on the neck. And that was the extent of what I do every time.
And you say that that's what you would do every time?
Every time. Not in the same order, but right about there.
And so your testimony today is that you would do this every time?
Every time.
Okay, please just...
Sure.
Prosecutors challenged the theory as unsupported by medical evidence and inconsistent with the autopsy findings. In the end, the jury had to decide whether Marcy West died from a tragic medical event or whether her death was the result of a calculated decision.
Juror number one, I see you have some documents in your hand. Are you the presiding juror?
Yep.
The jury reached the verdict?
Yep.
Would you hand the documents then to the committee? All right, verdict in count 1A. We, the jury, find the above-named defendant guilty of the crime of murder in the first degree. Verdict count 1B is blank as required. Verdict count 2A, we, the jury, find the above-named defendant guilty of the crime of murder in the second degree. Special verdict form were Kevin West and Marcel West intimate partners. Answer yes. All right, so I'm now going to poll you to make sure that these are your individual verdicts and that they were the verdicts of a unanimous jury. So I'm going to ask you those two questions.
Kevin West was found guilty of first-degree premeditated murder, a Class A felony in Washington. This carries the potential for a sentence that could keep him behind bars for most, if not all, of his remaining life. His sentencing is scheduled for February 27, 2024.